Lien.
And could you spell your last name for us?
Lien.
Great. And when's your birthday?
11/17/28.
And where were you born?
Canton, South Dakota.
So you're right at home.
Right at home.
Could you talk about your family at the time?
My family, I was married on April 8th, 1951. Same time I went to Korea. And I had 7 kids. And one of them passed away about 6 months ago. And it's the same thing that my wife and I have disability for living at a base in North Carolina, polluted water. And I got my award a year ago after struggling for about 10. So we're getting rewarded for what we did.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm going to go close the window,
Okay.
though. Sorry, it's a little loud out there with the construction. I'm so sorry to hear that, and I'm glad
Well,
that...
it's just one of the things that happens, you know.
Yeah. Could you talk about your siblings at the time of... Sorry, Shirley said to let it ring, so I'm going to listen to her. Okay.
Okay.
Could you talk about your family background at the time? Any siblings you might have had?
Oh, I had 7 children, 2 boys and 5 girls. And all of them live in Denver, except 2. They live in Canton, so we're spread around quite a bit.
What about your siblings? Do you have any siblings, or are you...
No, I'm the only boy left in the family. So,
Got it. So, were you in high school?
yes,
Where did you graduate from?
Canton High School,
And when did you graduate?
1946.
So, did you draft or were you enlisted?
No, I enlisted
And where did you enlist?
right here in Sioux Falls.
And why did you decide to enlist?
Well, I was going to Brookings to college and the war broke out, and so I decided to do something. So I went down to the recruiting office, and there was about 40 other guys from this area. They're trying to get them all to go in the same day. So we decided we'd do that, and so the day that came to go in, we went up to the courthouse, and they told us that we couldn't get in the Navy because they were full. So Marine Sergeant come walking down the aisle, and he says, "I'll take every one of you guys." So we ended up in the Marine Corps.
Wow, so that's very unique. You knew about the Korean War and you decided you wanted to do something about it?
Right.
Why did you want to, and what kind of emotion kind of brought you to enlist?
I don't know, we was all that bunch of guys who wanted to go, and enthusiasm was there, and we took off.
So did you know where Korea was?
No, never looked it up on a map.
Wow, so you wanted to go to fight for this nation that you didn't even know about?
I guess that's what you'd say, yeah.
Wow, so where did you go for basic training?
We went taken to Omaha, Nebraska, and we was inducted into the Corps, and then we rode a freight train from Omaha to San Diego, recruit depot there on the ocean. And it was quite a ride. I'd never been in a train like that before, but we rode the train down there, and we spent 12 weeks in training down there as a 1 platoon from South Dakota. So it was quite unique in itself.
Do you mind if I take that from you? Just for the interview. And when was this?
That was 1951, January, I got enlisted.
So it was cold.
Right.
Yeah. So after basic training, did you go straight to Korea?
No, I got leave, and I went home for a month, and I got married, and left about a month later for Korea.
And where did you arrive in Korea?
Incheon. Busan was supposed to be the landing area, but we ended up in Incheon where they had that invasion.
Were you a part of the Incheon landing?
No, that was prior to my coming there.
Mhm.
But,
And so when you arrived in Incheon, what unit were you a part of?
11th Marines. I was an artillery outfit 105s.
So what was daily life like?
It's not too much like at home. I mean, we had to live outside, like it was different, of course. We had our mess tent and everything set up where we went, so we had pretty good food. But like I say, it was different.
What was your impression of Korea?
Well, to me, it was about like at home because we didn't have running water. We didn't have TV yet. We had TV, but not too much. And you were kind of in the same category as we were, but not quite that. You had no nice homes and stuff. I mean, it was different. Yeah.
Did you feel sorry for any of the Koreans you met?
I did. I mean, it's kind of a backward way to live. But since then, after being there and then reading the book you put out, or somebody did, on, I can't imagine what Seoul and some of them places were beautiful. You know, big highways and factories and new homes. It's just amazing.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later in the
Yeah.
interview. So after you landed in Incheon, did you go anywhere else?
We was all over the country. We were a support unit for all the infantry, even other units like Army. We stayed with most of the 1st Marines, but we moved a lot.
Do you remember any of the towns you visited?
Pardon?
Do you remember any of the names of the towns you visited?
Well, just in Incheon and then up on the reservoir, and then we went down to Seoul. So we did a lot of firing around Seoul.
So you went up to the Chosin Reservoir?
Yeah, we went through there, I mean, afterwards, yeah.
Afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd set up in there because they'd assault some units, you know.
So Incheon, Chosin, Seoul, where else?
Well, most of them were just in that area, but we had a lot more other towns, but I never really got to name some. We just moved through, so. But those were the main ones.
And,
Excuse me.
oh, no problem. And what was your main duty? What was your everyday routine like?
Well, it's the same as everybody. You get up in the morning and you had to do the things you had to do, and you had to, like when we moved a lot, you'd have to dig in, and that would take most of your time, and then you would set up your perimeter defense, and that would take a lot of your time. And just get it set up, and then they'd tell you to move some other place, so it was kind of a moving outfit.
Did you ever participate in combat?
Yes, ma'am. We were under fire most of the time. They would spot us, and then when they get us zeroed in, then we'd have to move.
What was that like, having to always...
Well, it's part of life, got to be. So.
Do you remember any specific battles that you were a part of?
Well, a lot of them we were back a ways because artillery isn't on the front line, but it's pretty close. And I don't know, we had a lot of, at night the assault was quite heavy, but the flares had all got off and they'd take off out of there. But once in a while we had to pick up the machine guns and fire at them, but by that time we was ready to move again.
Do you remember participating in a punch bowl or Old Baldy or
I think I
Heartbreak
was
Ring?
at all of them, basically, that had Marines, the 1st Marines there, we supported, and the 2nd was there. And one day they had a problem, of course we had to move in and help them. We did a lot of defensive firing, like we put a lot of white phosphorus into the caves and stuff. It's a pretty bad deal, but to hurt somebody like, well, you know, that's bad stuff. But that's the way life is too.
Did you ever feel guilty that you had to do that?
No, I felt guilty, but I mean, that was, you want to get to the point you get mad and you just let it go. It's works on your brain a lot, but it's interesting. I learned a lot while I was there.
What did you learn?
Pardon?
You said you learned a lot while you were
Well,
there.
I met a lot of people, like different units. Like I was with a Turk regiment there right alongside for a while, and they had a young recruit that came into the outfit, and his goal to be in the outfit was to go out and get a head from the opposite party. So at night he would go out and got the head and came back and he put it on a stick in front of his pup tent, and that was kind of an emotional thing, but that's the way they did things. And so it goes on.
Do you remember any other friends or close comrades that were with you?
Yeah, there's a few that got killed or sniped, you know, sitting having dinner or something along the way, but it was quite emotional that way, but you get over it after a while, I guess. Try it, somehow.
Yeah, how did it feel to watch your friends die right in front of you?
Makes you madder. Yeah.
Did you want to do anything because of that death that you saw?
What?
Did it make you want to do something?
Well, you want to get them all, I guess. You just have no mercy for nobody. It's a bad deal, but when somebody shoots at you, you know, you better do something about it too. It makes you quite angry.
Did you tell anybody at home about what you were going through letters or?
No, not basically. I didn't talk about it.
Did you ever send anything back home to your family or?
Pictures.
Pictures?
I don't know whether they're all that anymore, but a lot of pictures.
So, what do you think was the most difficult or the most dangerous experience that you had when you were in Korea?
Well, they were all dangerous. I mean, they would get us zeroed in and they tried to knock us out, and we'd have to move her. And actually, it was basically a support unit, so whenever we were under fire, I know the infantry was.
Did you meet any other foreign troops or interact with any foreign
Not
troops?
only a one Turk regiment. I got good friends with them. I mean, they were nice people, very vicious people.
So when did you leave Korea?
I was in 52, spring, middle of 52.
And where did you leave from?
You know, I was supposed to go in there to start with. Not Busan, Incheon.
You left from Incheon
Yeah,
too?
we went aboard ship. It took us 19 days to get there from Frisco, and same coming home. We didn't fly like they do today.
How did it feel to leave?
Pardon?
How did it feel to leave?
Pretty nice. I mean, it was kind of a joyful thing to be leaving, but left a lot of memories there.
Yeah. So what did you do when you got back to the States?
Well, they went back to where I started in San Diego, and then they shipped me down to Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. It was a swamp Lejeune where they trained you for swamp warfare. And I was there until I got my discharge.
And when was your discharge?
Oh, 1954, January.
So have you been back to Korea since then?
No, my friend has. I think he's up here being interviewed. Wayne Mitchell.
Oh yes, he came in this morning.
I knew him, and he was about wherever I went. I seen him or surrounded him somewhere, so it helped. He was in a different outfit, of course. He was in the Army. But we supported everybody, so it didn't make any difference.
So, have you seen pictures of the new Korea?
Yeah, he brought him back. He's been over there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he told you that.
I think he might have, yeah.
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 He brought him over and showed me.
Yeah, so are you aware that Korea is now the 11th largest economy in the world?
Yes, I do.
And you've heard of how stable a democracy they are. How does that make you feel that Korea, that was nothing back when you were there has become this amazing new country?
Well, I really think you deserved it, and you got it, and I'm glad to help you.
Thank you. Well, do you think that your service was worth it?
Oh, yes. At the time it wasn't, but after I seen the pictures, I do believe everything. I feel that we was worth doing what we did.
That's
It stopped communism and it gave you a chance.
yeah, that's so right. At the time, it's hard to see what
Yeah.
the point is, but now afterwards, it really
Yeah, I
means.
mean, from when I was there until he started developing like this, that's just unimaginable. I mean, I can't believe that you came that far because there was nothing there. You know, you had your huts, there was oxen pulling your trailers, and you had no outdoor bivvies. You just, it was kind of, I couldn't believe it. And the way you ate the rice and how you put it in and different things, I was amazed. But everything sure worked out great.
Would you do it again?
Yes.
Are you proud of your service?
Yes, I am.
What do you think that the ultimate legacy of your service and the Korean War is?
Well, what do you mean by
Well, what do you think came out of your service?
what you are today? If you had been overrun and taken up, you'd never be what you are today. And I don't know what North Korea is like today, but they're a very bad country. And I feel someday they're gonna try their best to destroy you. But I don't think they can, but you never know, but you can't underestimate an enemy.
Would you be in favor of reunifying the two Koreas?
If it's possible. I don't know if it'd be impossible with the leadership they have. Could be. If he changed or they put a different man in there, I believe they might. But his goal is to take the world, I think. And I don't think that's the way to live.
So how does it make you feel that after over 60 years, the Korean War is forgotten?
Well, it was forgotten when you got home because nobody, well, it was just that way. You come home and it's just like coming back from college or going somewhere. So it was, except the fellows you were there with, and they lived around here, so.
Did you want to forget about the Korean War?
Yes, I would like to forget what happened, but you don't forget it.